Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do this makeup look. Both eyes and skin and everything are using products that are under $10. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just stick around. So here we are, bare face. I have absolutely nothing on my face. First we're going to go ahead and clip back the hair just so we don't have it in our way. And then also I am having a little bit of breakout, so I'm going to use a little bit fuller coverage foundation, but I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Hydrate and Smooth just because my skin is very dry, almost to the point where it's like flaking away just because it's that time of year. So I'm trying to use more of a hydrating primer, and I actually love this one. I've used it a couple of times before, but I'm mainly going to focus this on my T-zone. And also right here, I literally went through my makeup collection and made sure nothing was under $10, so I gotcha. Next, we're going to go in with our Age Rewind makeup, or Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and I've always used this to prime my eyes. You probably have seen that in previous videos. This works great as a eyeshadow primer. So I'm just taking that in a large fluffy brush and just buffing that in to prepare the eyes. I'm then going to go ahead and take this Rose in the Air palette from Wet n Wild and take that transition shade, and we're going to buff this into the crease and bring it a little bit down on the lid. We are going to cover up the lid in a little bit here, so just mainly focus this on the crease area. And you saw I did actually hit pan on this shade. I'm a huge fan of Wet n Wild products, which you'll see in this video, but their palettes are super pigmented, super affordable, and this specific eyeshadow shade I use pretty frequently, and you guys saw I hit pan on that, so I definitely recommend these palettes. And then we're going to take that more orange shade. I'm going to buff this a little bit lower in the crease, and we're also going to cover up our lid. So just doing that, and I was like, do I want to show them one eye or both eyes? I was like, you know what, just screw it, I'm going to do both eyes. So we're buffing that on the lid and a little bit lower on the crease from that first transition shade. And you guys will also see throughout this video, a lot of the products that I use, you probably saw me use in previous videos. I'm definitely a drugstore girl at heart, so I'm a huge fan of drugstore products, and I do use them on a regular basis. And then we're going to take that more cranberry shimmer shade, and this I'm going to focus on the outer third of the eye, kind of like that outer V area, just to somewhat just give it a little bit more dimension and darken up that outer V area. I want that orange shade just to kind of be the main show of the eye, so that's why I just don't want to bring this in and make it too dark, just so that orange is like the main attraction. And then we're gonna just jazz this up a little bit and take that shimmer shade, and I'm gonna do somewhat of like a spotlight eye, like a halo eye, but I'm just using my finger and dabbing that mostly in the middle, and then just kind of tapping it to gradually make it blend in with the orange shade and that outer darker shade that we used for the outer corner. You know, just to add a little oomph. Then we're going to go ahead and put lashes on, and I actually put these on off camera, but I will show you what I used. I used the Ardell. You guys know I love these. I've used them before, and they are the 113s. And now we can go ahead and focus a little bit on the skin. So I'm going to take my CoverGirl Matte Made foundation in the shade L30 because I'm very fair right now. And this is definitely a great full coverage foundation, especially because I have a little bit, you know, of breakouts, especially on my jawline. And I know this because of my diet. I always break out on my jawline when I, you know, can't stay away from sweets and all the good junk food. I love like cakey donuts and things like that, so we need a little bit of coverage today. And then I'm going to take that same concealer, the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I'm going to brighten and conceal the under eyes. And this is in the shade Ivory. I think it's Fair Ivory, which is like the second to the last fairest shade, I believe. So this will kind of highlight as well. And also the sponge I'm using is from Real Techniques, and you can also find that at the drugstore. And I'm sure this concealer comes to no surprise. I use this in most of my videos. I definitely gravitate towards this over any high-end concealer. And then I always just take a little makeup brush right around like my nose, like the middle of my forehead, just because the concealer tends to cake up there. Then I'm going to go ahead and set everything with my Airspun face powder in Naturally Neutral. And I'm not really baking, I'm more so kind of just pushing that into the concealer just to set it in place, as opposed to like packing it on and wiping it away later. So I've been doing this more so than baking. So everywhere that we set or put the concealer, we're going to set. And again, I got to get those little creases. And then we're going to go ahead and take that, it's like a more red tone shadow. I didn't use this on the upper lid at all. And I usually take the same shades as the top to put them on the bottom, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So I took that reddish shade and I'm bringing that pretty low on my lower lash line. And I've been liking how I kind of connect the outer V, like the outer shadow, with the shadow on the top, if that makes sense, kind of like rounding it out right here. I just like how that kind of elongates and smokes out my eyes. Then I'm going in with a NYX pencil to tightline and put in my waterline. This one's in a shade Gunmetal, and it kind of has like silver reflex in it, but you can't like really see them. Does anybody else hate tight lining? I can do my waterline, but I can't tight line. Then I'm taking that brown shade and just smudging that directly into the lash line. I'm not bringing it any lower. I'm just kind of getting a little bit more dimension there. Then I'm going in and just wiping away any fallout. Even though you guys saw I got like barely any fallout, which I love with these palettes. And then I just wanted to show you guys my sweater. I got it from like, I think Forever 21, and it's crop top and has like little zippers. It's really cute. And I'm taking my Wet n Wild mascara just to blend in my lashes. Then I'm taking that shimmer shade that we used on the top lid and I'm going to highlight my inner corner, which was like really pretty. It was like real subtle. I was going to use my highlight, but I was like, you know what, let me just kind of use what I used on the top of my lid, and I like how it turned out. Again, I'm going with my Mega Length mascara and using this for my bottom. You guys know this is my ride or die mascara for my lower lash line, for my lower lashes. And I've been doing this thing where as soon as I put it on, I try to look up just so my bottom lash line doesn't hit, but it never fails. To bronze, I'm going to use actually a face powder in a very deep shade. I think this is Cocoa, and I'm going to use this to actually bronze. It's very comparable to Hoola, I feel like. I just have to use like the smallest amount because this is pigmented. So I'm just buffing that in the contour and just kind of like bronzing with this shade. I used to always use this and I just got away from it, but just if you're looking for an inexpensive bronzer, just get a very deep shade of like face powder. You know, it's not more on the orange side, so, and it works out great. Then you guys know I try to contour my nose. I don't know how to do it. I just kind of copy what everybody else does. It makes a little bit of a difference, but you know, I just do it, I guess, just because. I'm just blending it all out. And then we are going to get rid of that little speck. And like I said, you always want to let it dry before you wipe it away. Then this is just the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. This is an old school, but like I always use Milani face powders, especially the baked blush ones, because they have like kind of like a sheen to them, which I really like, especially with dry skin. And if you get a little bit too heavy-handed, like I always do, I just take my powder brush and just kind of blend it all in. And then for my brows, I'm just going to use an e.l.f. angled brush instead of my ABH brow brush. And this is like $1 or $2, I think, at the drugstore. I'm using my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Kit, and then also, I'm going to use both of those shades in there, the darker shades. So I'm first going to go ahead and kind of just, you know, stencil in what I want to do with the lighter shade, that middle light brown shade, and then you'll see I'll go in with a little bit of that darker just to deepen up the tail, which you'll see in a minute here. But I don't know. I like powders, I guess, more than a pencil for my brows. I only like the pencil like to kind of put my tail on because I don't really grow a lot of hair at the end of my brow. So I do like to extend them, and that's what I use a pencil for. But for the rest of the brow, I always just use a powder, and I've been using this Wet n Wild one for years. Like I'm talking probably 5 years or so. But you'll see I'll just kind of like bring that lighter shade out, and then I'll go back in and deepen it. Like right here, this is where I picked up that darker brown shade in that, that trio kit. And again, I'm just giving myself a little bit of a tail just because I lack hair in that department. I have hair everywhere else, but not on the ends of my brows. Does anybody else like hate doing brows? I know people love it, but I dread it because I can't get them straight because my one eye kind of like droops a little bit more than the other, and it's very frustrating. But you know, we work with it. Then I'm just lightly taking that that lighter shade and just brushing it in the front of the brows. And this is where I use my NYX brow pencil just to deepen up the tail. Just because like I feel like when you use like pomades and things, I just feel like they rub away after a while, like as the day goes on. I just feel like a pencil just adheres a little bit better than a pomade does. I'm just brushing it out, and that's the good thing with the NYX pencil is it has a little spoolie on it. And then you guys have seen this before. This is my Maybelline Great Lash Clear Mascara, and I use this to set my brows. I've also been using this for years. Like this tutorial wasn't even that hard because like it's a lot of the products I already use. And then for a setting spray, I actually got this at TJ Maxx. It's $6.99, so I used it. It's not technically drugstore, but you know, I wanted to include it because it is a cheaper version of a facial spray. And I love it too. It smells really good too. But yeah, it gives a nice little glow there. Love it. And it's in like a sturdy glass bottle. And then I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting palette. I use this also, you can see there. And I've actually been liking taking my beauty sponge, dipping it in, getting off the excess, and then going in. I feel like it just kind of blends and melts into the skin more than opposed to like, you know, just brushing it on with the highlighting brush. So I've definitely been using this technique and like it a lot. I want to try it with my Amrezy. I didn't try it with that because that's like my go-to highlight too, but this one's also very good. I always just put a little bit in the middle of my nose and like the tip. And then I'm also going to take that same highlight from Wet n Wild and just highlight the brow bone. And then for lip pencil, I'm going with the Milani pencil in the color Nude, and I'm using my L'Oreal sharpener. And you guys have seen these lip liners also. I get these at like Kmart, or some of the Walgreens carries Milani as well. I'm just going to go ahead and line the lips. Then I'm going in with this Blushing Rose lip cream from e.l.f., which is only a few bucks, and it's a beautiful shade. Just be careful because with any liquid lip, you don't want to layer them because then they get kind of like splotchy. So I try to get it good on the first go. That way I don't have to go ahead and go back in and add more. And even though I love the shade, I really wasn't feeling a matte lip that day, so I'm going in with my Rimmel Stay Glossy. It's just a clear lip gloss, and this was only a few bucks as well, and then I'm just kind of giving myself a little gloss. Taking more of my favorite coconut finishing spray. I like the sprayer on that too, it's very misty. But yeah, that's the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this drugstore tutorial. Let me know of any new videos that you guys want to see, but I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!